So, okay, students, the next thing is uh, we were at some number 20 here, express as percentage and decimal. So, take the first one, 4 by 5. So, you can convert it to decimal by getting a power of 10 in the denominator, 4 into 2, 5 into 2. Numerator and denominator, you are multiplying by 2. 4 2s are 8, 5 2s are 10, 8 by 10 is 0.8. If you want as percentage, you have 8 by 10 now, you already converted to decimal, right? Percentage means you have to get denominator also 10. So 8 by 10, you multiply numerator and denominator by again 10. So you will get 8 tens are 80 upon 100, 10 tens are 100, right? Which is 80%. That is the main thing. For percentage, you need 100 in the denominator. Then 3 upon 5. Same logic. 3 into 2, 5 into 2 gives me 6 upon 10, which is 0.6 as a decimal. And 6 upon 10, you can multiply numerator and denominator by 10 so that you get 60 upon 100, which is 60%. Next is 2 upon 5. Again, multiply numerator and denominator by 2, you will get 4 upon 10. 4 divided by 10 is 0.4 in decimal. And if you want denominator 100, we are going to multiply numerator and denominator by 100. 40 by 100, which is 40%. Next is find 80% of 50 and 50% of 80. So 80% of 50 is 80 by 100 into 50. So 51s are 52s are 80 divided by 2, which is 40. What is 50% of 80? It's same logic will apply. 50 by 100 into 80. 51s are 52s are 2 are 2, 40s are. So 50% of 80 is same as 80% of 50. That you need to be very careful. Find 40% of 30. So 40 by 100 into 30. So 1 0, 1 0, then 1 more 0, 1 more 0. 4 into 3 by 1, that you are getting the answer 12. So these are all simple things. Next is divide. Here you need to be careful. You have 0.0072 divided by 1.2. I'll just take it up in the interest of space so that I get some space here. I'll solve it up as you can see. What I'll do is, yeah. So 0.0072, we're dividing it by 1.2. So in this case, you like write it in that form, numerator by denominator. I want the point to come here for the denominator because I told you one of the techniques is to ensure that your whole number is there in the denominator. Now it is 1.2, no? So you're shifting the point one place to the right. Same thing you apply to the numerator so that the value is intact. So it becomes 0.072 divided by 12. And this again I had previously discussed, right? The numerator you can write it as 72 divided by how many places? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1000 into 12. So getting rid of the decimal point, we wrote that as 72 by 1000. 12 ones are 12 5, 12 6 are 72. So 6 upon 1000. Now you imagine the hypothetical point here and you're going to go to the left 3 places. So you will be getting 6 will be here, 0, 0. So 0.006. So 3 places to the hypothetical points shifted. So you have to put some 0 padding, extra padding, and make it 0.006 by 1000. So the point which is here will jump by 3 places and you will come here, which is 0.006. Okay. The same thing now, we have already 12 in the denominator, 0.0072 divided by 12. So I can write it as 72 divided by, now there are 4 decimal places, right? So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 into 12. So it will be 12 ones are 12 5 are 6, 12 6 are 72, which is 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 by 10,000. So it will be 0.0006 because if you're assuming some fake zeros here, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And if the point is here, you're jumping by 4 decimal places, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives me 0.0006. So that is one thing. Next, coming to the next one, which is 0.07 as a percentage and fraction. So 7 by 100 it is, right? Because 2 decimal places, which is 7%. And as a fraction, it is 7 by 100 itself. There is nothing you can change here. 0. You mean there is nothing to convert here, I'm saying. Compute the value of 5 divided by 40 by 3. 40 by 3. That will be equal to 5 means 5 by 1 divided by 40 by 3. So we can write it as 5 by 1 into 3 by 40. So 5 ones are, 5 eights are, which is 3 upon 8. Next is 0.08 as percentages. It is 8 by 100, right? Which is 8%. Be very careful, it is not 80%. 0.8 will be 8 by 10. 8 by 10. And 8 by 10 is 80 by 100. Okay, so it is be careful whether it is 0.8 or 0.08. And as a fraction, it is what? Yeah, here it need to be careful. 4 2s are 8, 4 25s are 100, right? That's why you should know it is 2 by 25. So that is one thing. Convert 3 by 25 into percentage and decimal. So if you go with the knowledge of factors of 100, I told you 25 fours are 100. 3 into 4 is 12. So it is 12%. And as decimal, it will be 0.12. You are dividing it by 100. So move the place decimal point to the left. Next is Dora walked 2 by 3 kilometers. You'll see she has walked 2 by 3 kilometers. And Doraemon has walked how much? 7 by 15 kilometers. Who walked the greater distance? So one of the things is you're comparing two fractions, right? You can cross multiply them. 15 2s are 30 and 7 3s are 21. So obviously Dora has walked a greater distance. So Dora has walked greater. Dora walked a larger distance, right? More. She has walked more. So sum of the distances. Now this is nothing but it's testing your knowledge of fractions, addition of fractions. The LCM of 3 and 15 is 15. So 3 into 5. So numerator 2 into 5 is 10. 15 into 1. 7 into 1 is 7. Which is 17 by 15. Which is 15 ones are 15. 2 upon 15 meters. Try to convert it to kilometers. Sorry. Convert it to mixed fraction. Next is who walked the greater distance. Find the distance. Difference. The difference is who that is a difference in Dora's and Doraemon's distance. So this is the sum of the difference, sum of the distances they walk. The difference of the distances will be obviously Dora is more, right? So 2 by 3 minus 7 by 15. The same thing, but with the minus sign. Take LCM is 3. 3 of 15 is 15. 2 3 5s are 2 5s are 10 minus 7, which is 3 upon 15. Okay. Which is 1 by 5 meters. 1 by 5 means 2 by 10, which is 0.2 meters if you're looking at decimal. But of course, you can leave it at fraction itself. Then moving on, so you can get these kind of sums. Be very careful because here it's the knowledge of fractions, addition, fraction, subtraction that is being used. Given 42, 36, 35, and A are in proportion, which means product of extremes is what? 42 into A is equal to product of means. The middle two terms are 36 into 35. So I told you in these kind of sums, just shift the, keep the A one side and put the other one down. 42 will come down. And now we know our tables, right? 6 6 are 36, 6 7s are 42. 7 1s are 7, 7 5s are 35. A is 6 into 5, which is 30. This is the value. So you need to know cross multiplication. You have to show that this has to be shown that product of extremes is equal to product of means. It is very important. Next is a frog took 3 leaps. Okay. The first jump was 2 by 3. First leap was 2 by 3 meters long. The second leap was 5 by 9 meters long. And the third leap was 5 by 6 meters long. How long did he jump? So it's like he jumps, right? The frog will jump, depends. Right? So it's just that there's nothing to do with any I mean, it's just simple addition operation of fraction, but 3 fractions we are adding. 2 by 3 plus 5 by 9 plus 5 by 6. LCM of 3, 9 and 6 is obviously 18. If you want, you can check it out. You know how to solve, find LCM, right? 3, 3, 6 are, so 2, 6 are 12. Then 9 2s are, so 5 2s are 10. Okay, 9 2s are 18, 3 6 are 18 and 6 3s are, so 5 3s are 15. So 15 plus 12 is 27, 27 plus 10, 37, 37 by 18, 18 2s are 36, 1 will remain, so many meters. So this is the distance the frog jumped in total. So one thing is it is testing a knowledge of addition of fractions for which you should know LCM. Then it's addition. Then the next sum is A is to B is equal to 2 is to 5. And then B is to C is equal to what? 3 is to 7. So 3 is to 7. The common thing is B, right? Not, we'll just write it in a legible form. So A is to B is 2 is to 5. Okay. Then B is to C will be what? 3 is to 7. So here B corresponds to 2 and here B corresponds to 3. So 5 and 3, you should see the LCM of the common thing. So LCM of 5 and 3, if you're going to find out, you will be getting 15. So the first ratio you multiply by 3. Why am I doing that? I'm going to get 5 3 the 15. The second ratio you will multiply by 5 because I want 3 to be converted to 15. Okay. So the new ratio A is to B becomes what? 2 into 3, 6. 5 3s are 15. And B is to C, in the second case, I'm multiplying by 5. 5 3s are 15, 7 5 are 35. The continuity is there, right? A is to B, B is to C. So it will be, so if you're going to read it totally, we can say A is to B is to C will be 6 is to 15 is to 35. This is the ratio. And they've asked one more, A is to C. So we will do A is to B is given as what? A is to B is 2 is to 5. And B is to C is, I'm writing it here because of space, B is to C is 3 is to 7. So A is to B means A by B. B is to C is B divided by C, right? So 2 by 5 into 3 by 7. That will be 6 by 35. So we can, now when you cancel out B, B goes away, leaving you with, yeah, A is to C, no? A by C, A divided by C is nothing but A is to C, which is 6 is to 35. You have to be careful about this. And here it is asking you perform these divisions. Let's finish it off related to decimals. So you should be very careful. 0.00064 divided by 0.08. Like before, what I told you, try to get a whole number component in the denominator. So you will have to make 2 jumps, right? Your decimal point has to come here because 8.0 it becomes, which is nothing but whole number 8. So the same operation you should apply to the numerator 1, 2. So giving me 0.064 divided by 8. So now if you are going to perform the multiplication, it becomes 64 by what? 3 decimal places, no? And then 8 will come down here. So 8 1s are 8 8s are 64. So 8 by 1000, which is 0.008. The next thing is 24 divided by 0.004. So 24 divided by 0.004. So you should be very careful here. You can do it the sum this way also. 24 divided by 0.004. So 24 means 24 divided by 1, right? And I can write 24 divided by 1 divided by 0.004 will be 4 divided by 3 decimal places, no? So write 1000. Now you can swap the numerator. You can write division as into multiplication. 1000 goes up and 4 comes down, no? So 1s are 4, 6 are 24. 6000 by 1, which is 6000. So this is it. Be careful with the division. When you're shifting the points and you're shifting the zeros and so on, whether division, multiplication, keep it in mind. It's always good to cross check. The last thing is, in a lab, there are 4 solutions kept under observation. So after a few hours, there is a rise in temperature. So, okay, you have to find where there is maximum rise in temperature. Let us check solution A. So what is happening in A? Minus 10 to 2. You should take the difference. Higher temperature minus lower temperature. So positive 2 is higher, no? Negative 10 is lower. So higher minus lower always. 2 minus minus 10. So it becomes 2 plus 10, which is 12 degrees. Okay, Fahrenheit or whatever. So 12 degrees is the rise in temperature for A. Keep it aside. Look at B. Again for B, it is minus 18 to minus 10. Minus 10 is higher than minus A, no? So higher minus lower. So you know the rise. So minus 10 minus into minus plus 18. 18 minus 10 is 8 degrees rise in temperature. In solution C, look what's happening. It's minus 18 to minus 11. Higher temperature is minus 11. From that you take away minus 18. So minus 11 minus into minus is plus 18. 18 minus 11 is 7 degrees. And finally, the last thing is 22 to 31. So higher temperature minus lower temperature. So 22 minus 31 minus 22, which is 9 degrees rise in temperature. So in which solution there is a highest there is a maximum rise in temperature? If you look, it is 12. That is solution A. 12 degrees rise, which happens in A. Minimum rise in temperature has happened in solution C. Okay, so you need to know how to perform subtraction of integers, addition of integers. The rise means how much it has increased. Higher temperature minus lower temperature. So I hope up till here it has been clear. When you are solving MCQs, again I'm repeating, just mention the correct option, 1D, 2C, like that. Don't mention anything else. And don't put double options, dual options. I'll be giving, not be able to give any marks. Only if you put the right option, I'll be able to give marks. Same thing in match the following. Write the number from column A, mapping with which letter from column B, which letter, which option. Okay, and then working need not be shown. Fill in the blanks, you need to show less than, greater than, equal to. And for remember that for subjective, that is long answers, you have to show some 3 to 4 lines of working. For just writing one step, you will not get any marks. You have to show something there. For all the MCQ type questions, for match the following and fill in the blanks, working is not mandatory. Most of it will be able to do it mentally. It's just analysis. You're able to think and answer without much working. So working is not needed in these. But the last section D, when I'll be giving you the actual long answers to solve, the long sums, I mean, where it requires, it gives you 4 marks. So it mandates the working of 3 to 4 steps. So I hope up till here everything has been clear. All the best, children, and I'm sure you will all do well.